Well, hello out there in YouTube. Welcome back to Greg's Mowers and More. If this piece of equipment looks familiar to you, it should. I had this on the channel when I first bought it. This is my handy little Montgomery Ward's tiller that I bought in an estate sale for 30 bucks. And I mean, the thing still looks like brand new, even though I think I've used it for 1 or 2 seasons now. But I came out yesterday. Since I'm on vacation, I'm trying to get everything cleaned up around the yard and looking decent. And we got some family coming over this weekend for some stuff. And I was gonna till the garden up because it was full of weeds. And usually this thing lights off first or second pull. Yesterday I pulled on it 20 times and couldn't even get it to puff. So today I thought it might be a good little video to try to troubleshoot this thing. So for those of you that, Fraggle says hi, good morning. For those of you that aren't familiar with this machine, I'm going to try to give you guys a little bit of a walk around to begin with. I'll keep it short and sweet though. But yeah, I bought this at an estate sale years ago. It's a really handy little tiller. It's got a 3-horse Briggs with very little usage on it. It's got the old style tank, the old style pulse check carb, air cleaner. Tines are still in really good shape. When I got it, all the paint was still on them. It looked like it hadn't been used but maybe once. So really nice little unit. Still got all the decals on the handles. Just a sweetheart of a little tiller. Super lightweight. I can pick it up and carry it around. So anyway, we're going to oh, look at that, I got some metal wrapped around that. I'm gonna have to fix that. I don't remember doing that, but that could have happened. So today I'm going to try to figure out why it won't start. And we're going to kind of go through the basics because I'm just going to be honest, I have done no maintenance on this thing since I first brought it home and got it running. If you haven't seen that video where I brought it home and got it running, maybe go back and check that out and check out some of my other videos. I know we're gaining a lot of subscribers here lately. I think we're almost up to 1,200 now. That can go in the scrap pile. Perfect. But yeah, I'm glad to see some new life being breathed into the channel. I know it's kind of touch and go with me sometimes with the hours I normally work and running 2 jobs, family stuff, and you know, all that stuff has to take precedence over the channel. So I appreciate you guys being patient with that. If you're a new subscriber here within the last couple of weeks, welcome. And if you're one of the old diehards that's been here from the last 2 or 3 years, I'm glad to have you still. Thank you for hanging out with me. We love bringing old engines back to life and troubleshooting stuff, working on stuff, and we love talking about Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. So welcome to the channel. So I guess the first thing I ought to do is check the oil in it. I'm going to go through this the same way I would any engine basically that's been sitting or not sitting. I'm not going to make any kind of assumptions whatsoever. So let's see what the oil looks like in her. Oh yeah, still full. Still like brand new. Like I said, she's got very few hours on her. Set you guys back down. I'm going to pop that air cleaner off and see if maybe the breather's plugged full. Now the last time I used it, I ran it out of gasoline. I dumped some fresh in it. Alright, I can't get it off with my fingers. Sometimes I gotta use a screwdriver. But, oh yeah. Okay. Well, it looks used, for sure. Still nice and supple though. I may be able to rinse that out and re-oil it. What's the top part look like? Is the top part nice and clean? Oh yeah, top part looks like brand new still. Oh yeah, genuine Briggs & Stratton even. So we'll set that over there. Next thing, I guess, I'm going to pop the spark plug out. And we'll check her for some spark. Make sure we still got that because this is a points engine. It is from the 70s. I think. Let me look at the date code on it. Maybe I'm getting it confused, but I thought this was like a 77, 78. Yeah, 1977. So she's going to be a points engine. hopefully it won't take too much to get her going. Shouldn't. It was just running, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month. I don't really remember. It's been a minute, but not too long. So we'll pull our plug out and look at that, see what it looks like. I mean, she's running on the rich side a little bit. Still tell that that's a old Champion CJ8. Could have been the original plug that was in there when she got painted. Plug does look pretty crappy though. I'm gonna try to clean it up a hair, and then we'll see if we got any kind of spark. I do apologize for the wind noise and the background noise and the Fraggle noises. Fraggle Rock is our Polish rooster. He's rather annoying at times. Some of you guys out there really enjoy him. Some of you guys, like me, you don't enjoy him that much. My wife loves him. That's like her favorite chicken ever. And he hates me with the passion of 1,000 suns. You know, but we get along. Typical man rooster thing that's been going on since the dawn of time. I say that and I can literally imagine Adam getting attacked by roosters when the first ones were created, you know. Try to zoom you guys in on that plug. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see today. Just kind of sunshiny bright out here. I don't know if I'll be able to get you there or not. That's probably about the best I got right there. Sorry guys. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to see it very good with the bright sunshine today. But we'll give her some pulls and see what we can see here. Can't even really tell. Try and set her down here a little bit maybe. See if we can't see something. I don't think I'm seeing any spark. I'm tempted to hold the spark plug in my hand, but I know what that leads to. I don't really want to do that. I think I'm going to take the plug off and try and hold the plug wire at a distance and see if that does anything. Hopefully I don't get zapped in the process. Yeah, I don't see any spark coming out of that thing. I think that's our issue. I'm going to do one more small test. I got just the littlest bit of carburetor cleaner in this jug here. I'll spray a little bit in the cylinder. Put that plug back in it real quick, and if it don't pop on that, then we know for sure we ain't got no spark. Should be plenty. Yeah, sometimes out here where this table is, in the bright sunlight, you just can't tell. Real hard to tell if you got it or not. Alright, let's see if it'll even pop. Give us a pop or anything. I would say we have no spark. So let me zoom you guys back out and we'll keep on keeping on. Alright, so we're going to pull the shroud cover 7/16 bolts. 1, 2, and then there'll be a third one back on the back side. Sometimes you get lucky and they're not in all the way tight and you can use your drill. Like that one. There we go. All three of them came right out. Cover should just pull off. Oh my. Well, that ain't good. I'm glad we pulled it. We got them fins a little packed full of dirt and everything else. I'm gonna we got some pretty good rust around the flywheel from it sitting outside too. That may be part of our problem. I'm gonna turn my air compressor on and let that build some air and blow all this out, and then we'll come back. Okay, we're back. That being said, I got them fins all blown out. Looks a lot better. Really hoping I didn't hurt anything there because I had no idea it was packed like that. Just goes to show you how that stuff sneaks up on you. You know, could be good one day, the next day it could be packed full. Could be full of mice, could be because you're tilling with it and it's throwing up in the blower shroud and you're not paying attention. Either way, let it be a lesson to pull your blower shrouds every once in a while. So I can still see there's some back in here behind this, so maybe that held some moisture and corroded our points. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the starter clutch, pull the flywheel. We're gonna look at the points because I have a sneaking suspicion that's probably what's going on. I'm gonna try to zoom you guys in, get you a little better view. Hopefully I'm not in your way the whole time. So this one's an older one. It's got two, I believe they're 1/4 inch bolts that hold on your, this is meant to keep the grass and crap out of here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But we're gonna pull this. I'll get my starter clutch tool out. We'll pull the starter clutch off. Then I'll show you how to break the flywheel free, pull it off, and then we'll get in there to our points. Where's my 1/4 inch socket? So like I said, 1/4 inch socket. Pop them out. Well, there we go. Grass element catcher there will come right out. I like to just set everything in the blower shroud, that way I know where it is. Now, starter clutch takes a special tool, and I do have one. Was one of the first specialty small engine tools I bought. I think I got it for like $9 off Jack's Small Engine. It takes a 7/8 shank, and it's for the 2 or the 4. This one's got 2. There's some that have 4. So that goes on there like that. Put your 7/8 on your impact. And before I had this tool, I would use a pry bar in the fins and a big pair of channel locks. But this just works easier. Just zips it right off. And then while you have your starter clutch off, you can, oh man, look at that. We got rust in there too. You can lube your starter clutch up with a couple of drops of oil while you have it off. Now, you see we have this elongated shaft here. Don't just go hammering on the end of the shaft with a hammer. At least not. I'm going to show you a trick here. And it's always worked pretty good for me. I got to find the right socket though. That one right there will do. It's a 1/2 inch. So what I do is I'll put that socket over the end of the shaft. That way I'm not just blindly hitting the end of the shaft, and then I'll gently pry over on that flywheel a little bit and just give her a tap. Go. And that's all it takes. Bring your washer and your flywheel off at the same time. Flywheel key stays there. Man, look how dirty that is. All right, it's pretty dirty. Probably better try to spray that off a little bit. See if I got enough carb cleaner to do that with. I don't remember if I had this off when I got it or not. I don't remember if it had spark or it didn't. We're gonna find out though. But again, 2/4 inch. And they should just come right out. Just another tech tip, you don't want to lose your flywheel key. Sometimes they can be loose and fall out. This one I feel like is going to hang in there. It may or may not bite me by the end of the video. Yeah, this one's not been off. It must have had spark when I got it. This one's stuck on there pretty good. They have like a little bit of black silicone sealant that they put at the top of these from the factory that helps them to keep moisture out and what have you. I'm just kind of going to try to get in here and give her a little pry. I might try to give her a little tappy. Maybe I should give her a little tap, try to bust that loose a little bit. But you can tell it's been on there a long time, and it looks brand new still. Just like the rest of the engine. There it goes. And when you pull it, you can tell the top of it's still on there pretty good because that sealant's holding on there. Just wiggle it back and forth, the sealant will come apart. There we go. And now we're into our points assembly. Your little cam eccentric right here. You got your little points breaker arm, your condenser. So I'm going to try to show you guys that don't know, that haven't been through this. Well, I can't grab the other side of the engine really. But anyways, this rotates. This will open and close those breaker points. And as they make and break contact, they will make and break the circuit inside the ignition coil and then send the charge out to the plug to fire the engine. Got my handy dandy ignition points file that I got from one of the local Ace Hardwares a few years back. I usually buy them in a 2-pack because I have a bad habit of leaving them lay places and forgetting them. They're so thin, if you put them on like a plywood table, they just pretty much vanish right before your eyes. Almost as bad as a 10mm socket. So our points don't look too awful bad, but they do have a little corrosion on them. And they got a little bit of carbon tracking almost, it looks like. So I'm going to give them a little sandy sand here. Now be careful, because if you don't hold this top one down against your file, when you pull that off, it'll come over here, shoot that spring off somewhere into the abyss, and then you'll be in trouble. So just kind of stick it in there, hold it down with your hand, put the file in between the points, go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth a bunch of times until you clean them points up. Now you can kind of see it's not the worst one I ever saw, but there's a little scale on there. Not a whole lot. I don't know if the camera's focusing today. It's being kind of lazy on a guy. Fancy record players, you know. How you guys doing out there today? You doing all right? Life treating you okay? Family doing good, I hope. Maybe you're enjoying the summer weather. Hopefully you're not here in Illinois with the corn sweat and what have you. I kind of like to give these a little flick when I'm done, just to make sure they're making contact somewhere. And then another thing that I'll do, I don't think I got any carb cleaner left, but I'll try it, is hold them open a little bit and spray them out. There we go. Just spray them out a little bit. All right. And now we're going to go ahead and reassemble. And well, I need to find something to wipe this shaft off a little bit. Let me go find that. Bring you guys back after I get that little tedious chore done. All right, I wiped that down as good as I could with what I got out here. It ain't perfect, but it'll run that way. I'm gonna put my points cover back on. Make sure you line your condenser area up with your condenser. Don't try to put it on there backwards. Should go back on just like it came off. And just run them down. You don't gotta go Superman on them or anything. You just gotta be snug. Next thing we're gonna do is take a look at our flywheel. Let me zoom you guys back out and I'll give you guys a shot of that. Okay, I got my flywheel set up here, and what we're looking at are the magnets on the flywheel. Right here. Always check these, make sure they're still magnetic. I have seen them lose magnetic. Oh yeah, we have plenty of magnetism left in there. So now, as you can see, we have some rust on the magnets. There will also be rust up here on your coil, on your engine, on the post there. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of PB, just because I'm out of carb cleaner and stuff. I'm going to take a wire brush, and we're just going to clean them up a little bit. Try and get as much of that rusty stuff off of there. Because this can make a world of difference in your spark. If you're getting kind of a weak yellow-orangish spark, you know, try cleaning your points, yeah, but this will help you some too. It's just a little tedious stuff that you gotta do. You know, look how much better that looks. Almost like brand new. Alright, got you guys fixated in on the ignition coil now up here. Come under here on these posts. Start knocking the corrosion off of them. That's all it is sometimes, is a lot of cleaning your parts off. Make sure there's not a ton of stuff underneath the bottom of your coil there. Just clean her up as nice as you can get her. That's probably fine right there. Alright, zoom you back out and we'll get put. Alright, so we want to make sure that we line our flywheel key up with the keyway in our flywheel. So just kind of hold her at odds here, maybe line her up with your forehead. Look down that barrel there. Just kind of work her. She'll go on there. That don't feel right to me. Feels like I missed it. And part of that problem is because the magnet's right at the top on the flywheel there. I'm going to have to try to turn the engine. Because if you got your flywheel magnet right under your coil, it tries to pull it towards the coil and makes it a pain to try to get that on there. I wonder if I can just kind of, I don't know. Kind of hard to turn them like that. There we go. I got her spun over there a little now. Now we'll try her, see what happens. There we go. I can see my flywheel key in my little hole there, so that tells me I'm lined up. So the next thing we got to do is put our starter clutch back on. If you don't have your starter clutch off, there's a hole here. You can put a couple of drops of oil down in there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few drops and put them in the back while I got it off. So let me go ahead and do that. I got some 30 weight rototiller here. And what I'm going to do is just pour a little bit in the cap. It ain't got to be very much at all, just very tiny little amount. You don't want to put too much in or the balls will start sticking on you. So literally all it takes is a drop or two. The Briggs & Stratton service manual will tell you that if you look at it. And then, hopefully you guys can see this, but you just take your cap, bring it over, and just put a drop or two down in there. Take your time with this. There's one drop. There's two. And then give her a good spin. Tilt her on edge. You can hear how dry it is in there. They were working, but I'm going to give her one more drop. It just seems like they're extra dry. They may have a little bit of rust in there. But there's 4 or 5, well, let's see, 1, 2, there might even be 6 ball bearings in this one. I'm not going to open it up to find out. But anyway, you got to put a little lube down in there. Lubricate your ball bearings. And then I'm going to go ahead and take a little more of that oil that's in the cup there and take one of my cleaner fingers and just put some on that crankshaft. And just give that a little bit of lubricant too, because I've seen the crankshaft gall in here before when somebody's boogered it up before me. So that is a thing, so be mindful of that. And then we just want to make sure we can start that on there. And then we'll hammer it back on with our impact. You don't have to go a million ugga-duggas, just run her down till she's snug. Hold your flywheel again. And that should be plenty good. There is a torque spec on there. I don't remember what it is. And I got to come back apart because I forgot to put my thrust washer between there and the flywheel. So let's go back off again. There we go. Because that thrust washer is what helps to hold tension on there to help keep this thing from flying off at you. Also, don't ever cross thread one of those. Don't ask me how I know. That should be good. Alright, make sure it spins. And it should catch. Spin, catch, spin, catch. Okay. So we're good there. Now it's time to put our grass catcher back on. Then you'll line up your 2 little holes on your grass catcher. Put your bolts back in it. And then I think it's about time we pull our spark plug back out, and I'm going to see if I remember what socket fits over the starter clutch. And we'll whirly-woo it around and see if we got spark now. Before we go putting the blower shroud back on and all that goody stuff. Let's go ahead and pull our spark plug back out. Boy, I tell you what, it is a hot, humid day today. There, we'll just set that right there. Hopefully for your viewing pleasure. I don't know how much you'll be able to see or not see. See if I can figure out what socket fits over that. That's a 7/8. That's too small. Okay. Well, my 15/16 acts like it's going to do the job. I got one of these handy little 1/2-inch adapters that fits in my drill. So I'll just run that in the drill, put this on there. We'll run her over and see if we get any kind of spark. Really can't see that from there, but here we go. Okay, my drill decided not to. There we go. Can't tell. Oh yeah. Got some good hot spark, but now my socket seems like it wants to be stuck on my, not an exact fit. Somebody ought to just make a socket. Somebody probably already has made a socket that fits over that. But I saw some nice hot blue sparkles. So that means our spark issue is fixed. Question remains, is that going to fix it? Or do we have more problems? You never can tell. Some of these units, when they sit outside, they get multiple problems in no time, it seems like. So we're going to go ahead and put our blower shroud back on. Before I do that, another thing I like to do, there's a spring on the back side of this white part here for your recoil tensioner spring that pulls it back in. They rust out, and I kind of like to lubricate them to help prevent them from doing that. So I'll spray a little bit of the PB back in there, and then I'll give her the workout. And just try to work some of that lubricant around in there. Now whether it actually helps them or not, I couldn't really tell you, but I think it does. It's just my opinion. I'm not a professional by any means. I'm just an old guy out here trying to keep stuff running and help people when I can. You know, I mean, the Bible says that that's like the two most important things. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Love your neighbor as yourself. On these two hang all the commandments, the law and the prophets. Basically, that's the point, if you will. It's what we're here to do. Are there a lot of other things we got to do while we're here? Absolutely. Never-ending list, and sadly, some of the things that we think we want to do in this life, we don't ever get to them. Seen a lot of people had a lot of plans, never materialized. I got the wrong socket on there because I'm thinking too much. But I've come to think that maybe that's one of the greatest lessons in life, is to be grateful for today, because tomorrow isn't promised. And you can burn your whole life up with what could have been, what should have been. People get real bitter over what they thought they were supposed to get and didn't happen. You know, it's a hard thing sometimes. It really is. Keeps you up at night, keeps your mind wandering. Or you can just trust the Lord in it, like I try to do. I'm not always the best at it. But the Bible says that there's enough worrying today, and if God feeds the birds, how much more will He feed and clothe you? And I'm just being honest, I feel like the good Lord's taken real good care of me in my lifetime. Better than He should have, better than I deserve. You know, from dust we came, to dust we'll return one day, and it won't be about all the stuff and the things and the materialism and all that stuff. But I'll stop rambling and we'll zoom you guys out, see if we can't fire this thing up, see if it'll run. All right. So, plugs in, got fire, push in for flow, pull out for fast, and when starting. So that's out. Let's pull our choke out. Well, our choke kind of seems stuck too. Well, there it goes. Okay. And here we go. Let's see if we fixed it. Ooh, backfire. go. That's what she's supposed to sound like. Thank you, Lord. Good stuff. Idle her down. That old girl runs real good. All right. Sounds pretty darn good. I think maybe I'll put the air cleaner back on it. I'll try to clean some of that crap out of it, of course, and re-oil it. But I think I'll put that back on there, and then I'll take her over there and we'll run her pass or two through the garden with you, and then I'll let you guys go on about your day with whatever you got left to do. Okay, so we're over here at my little dirt patch here. It's not really a garden, it's more like a couple of plants, you know, a couple of garden plants. There's pepper plant over there, cucumber there, watermelon over there, some onions over there. Not much, but there's all kinds of weeds right in here. And I got down and pulled a bunch of them yesterday. Today I just kind of feel like tilling them over. I felt like that yesterday too. So let's fire this thing up and see how it's going to do, because I just love this little tiller for getting in little spots and around there. It's lightweight, it's maneuverable, and for a front tine it doesn't beat you to death. I've probably had 6 people offer to buy this from me, and I can't bear to part with it. I love it. Full throttle. See if it'll light off without me choke. Nope, give it a little choke. There we go. Got into it and uprooted one of my watermelons. I didn't want to do that. Ran out of fuel? Well, we got fuel. What's the deal? Alright, sorry for that last cut. My son came out and was wanting to talk to me, so I shut you guys off. Seems like we're having a carburetor or fuel issue. I'm going to try to start it one more time, see what it does. Maybe it's just got a little bit of water in the gas. I don't know. There's a little hole in the top of that fuel cap that could let some water in, and we have had some rain. So I'm going to try to fire it up one more time, see what it does. Maybe it'll work through it, maybe not. Maybe I'll put some more fresh fuel in there and see if that helps. And if not, then I guess we'll put her on the table, start draining the fuel tank, taking a look at the carb, but let's see what it does. weird. Alright, I'm going to put her back in the dirt and try loading her down. I think it's got water in the gas. That's what I think it is. I'm gonna go grab my gas can, throw a little bit in there, see what it does. Alright, so I was gonna put some fresh fuel in it, but I looked down in there and saw that it looks milky in there, almost cloudy. So I guarantee you it's got a ton of water in it. And that's our issue. So it looks like we're headed back over to the bench. Okay, back up on the bench again. Like I was saying before, sometimes you can have more than one issue. I'm gonna spin that around, or turn it on its side rather, so that way we can get a look at the tank. Hopefully you guys can see the tank there. Maybe I should bring you in a little bit. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. All right. So the tanks on these are simple enough. Carburetors are real simple. I don't really think there's much wrong with the carburetor. I think it's the fuel. So we're gonna pull the air cleaner off. And then, let's see here. Wish I had some carb cleaner. I kind of need some. I might have to look around and see if I got a partial can. Boy, oh boy, are we nasty up here, and I really don't want all this going in my fuel tank. And I guess I could rinse it off out with some gasoline. But anyways, so there's a screw here. Let's see here. I don't know if this one's got to come out or not. It might. And there's another one down here. Hopefully you can see that. Very simple. Very simple carburetor, very simple fuel tank to remove. Just got to be careful when you do it that you don't tip the gasket. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might just yank the carburetor off of it, because I could really just take this screw out, take the cable off, disconnect my linkages, take my 2 bolts out, take the whole carb, everything, and just dump the gas out. I think that's probably simpler. So why don't we try that way first, so that way I don't ruin a gasket, because I don't have one. I've used them all up. And by the time the gasket gets here, I'll be back to working 2 jobs, and I'd really like to use my tiller today. I guess I could have just kept on rolling with it, but I kind of wanted to fix it the right way, you know. I mean, not right for some guys. Some guys do a full carb rebuild, recoat the tank, and anything and everything, but that's not me. I'm not that particular. I guess I can pull that off when I get the carb loose. Oh man, chicken squabbles. We got chicken noises. My Next question is going to be, can I remove this without taking the exhaust off? I've done it in the past, but it can be a bit tedious to get done. All right. Trying to work off of this side of the engine so I'm not blocking you guys. There we go. That spring's off of there. And it should hang. All right. Let's see if I can't get them carburetor bolts out. I don't remember if they're metric or standard. I think they're standard. Yeah, probably 3/8. Yep. That one was about halfway loose anyway. Maybe I can sneak up under that one, and I can. Oh yeah. Might even be able to get my fingers up in there and spin that one loose. That was one thing about these Briggs & Strattons. You kind of had to, oh, this one does have a tank strap underneath. Some of them don't even have a tank strap support underneath them. This one does. Now there's a bolt back in here. Looks like a 7/16. It could be a 3/8 though. I guess it's 3/8. But yeah, this one's got a tank support strap. I've had ones that didn't even have that. It kept rattling the carburetor loose every so often. You'd have to tighten the bolts up, which, I mean, I've had lots of Briggs & Strattons have loose carburetors. I've got them for free just because of that reason. This carburetor, I've had Compasses like that too, where they rattled the carburetor loose. It doesn't seem to be as much of an issue anymore. One bolt out of the carb. I'm going to try to get that strap bolt loose. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. You bugger. I don't think that's a 3/8. It seems like smaller than 3/8. 5/16? Looks bigger than that. Maybe it's a 10. Can't imagine a 10. No, it's 5/16. Dang, that's crazy. Huh. My eyesight really is getting that bad, I guess. Okay, well, sorry for that, fellas. If you're trying to stick a 3/8 in there and you can't get that bolt loose, my apologies. Okay, there's a little tank strap bolt, and we'll stick it right there, and we'll go over, try to get the other carburetor bolt out. Good times. I bet you I can use my flat blade because that's got slots in it. Spin that right out of there. Kind of hold that tank up with your hand though, so it doesn't go flying off into the Netherlands. I'm gonna have to find a way to store this thing under a tarp or something. Keep her from getting water in it. Too nice of a unit to let it sit outside and go to pot like that. This is one of the nicer antique tillers I've ever owned. I don't want it going to pot. All right, now let's see here. Should be able to kind of finagle this. Let me get that breather tube off of there. Maybe. Now it's going to come with the carb, ain't it? Okay. All right, so what's going on here? Our governor linkage. Yeah, we're going to have to figure out how to get that off. I should have probably just pulled the tank in hindsight. still may have to. Okay. I thought I could pull this all in one shot, but I'm not going to be able to move the carburetor the right way probably to get that out of there because of that tank strap. So I guess I'm pulling the tank off anyway. Silly me. We'll just try to treat her with care and decency. Treat it like if you were going for a walk with your 90-year-old grandma. You know, just trying to treat it with kid gloves. Alright, I'm back. My wife came out and was talking to me for a minute. She kind of had some changes to the plans in her day she wanted to tell me about, so sorry for having to cut you guys off again, but hey, that happens. You know, your spouse should always be more important than anything you got going. I know there's some guys out there that don't look at it that way. But that's how I see it. It's my opinion. Take her for what she's worth. The wrong screwdriver, but they're coming out anyway. But anyway, I don't remember what I was blabbering about. Well, before my wife came out, something about treating it like you treat your grandma, you know, like a delicate little flower. Don't go bashing on it. Well, I don't know. I'm just gonna stop. Can't handle myself sometimes, you know. There we go. All right. I think that's all our screws. Oh, that's all our screws. I think there were 3 of them. All right. So let's see if we can't gently try to break the seal on this. Just trying to be gentle, gentle, gentle. So far, we're looking okay. Might have ripped the gasket there. I don't know, I can't really tell. It's staying on the tank. Okay. I guess we're just gonna. Oh yeah, right there on the carb, it's kind of hanging there. Okay, that looks pretty good. We'll take that. Yeah, our gasket kind of stayed there. So we'll just kind of finagle this right on out of here. You got to kind of tilt and move and be careful not to break the plastic pieces. Oh man, don't need that. Come on, gasket. Come on, stay with me. There we go. All right, we got our tank out. Try to finagle it without dropping our carburetor, which should hang there. There we go. All right. So now you can kind of see how simple that is. I'm gonna go drain this fuel. Maybe rinse the tank out once with some fresh gas. Then when I come back, we'll look underneath here at our little pickups on our carburetor, see what they look like. Okie dokie. Rinsed her out twice. She's shining like a diamond. Now this is where your deep pickup tube goes, to the bottom of the tank. and this is your bowl. So the small pickup tube, the short one, goes in here and picks up fuel out of this bowl. Your long tube picks up fuel from the bottom of the tank and transfers it over into the bowl. That is how these tanks and these carburetors work. So let's take a quick peek at the bottom of our carburetor here and see what's up. They don't look too bad. A little sediment on the bottom there on the bottom pickup tube, but nothing that's going to hinder us. So I guess we'll stick her back together. Going back together is just the reverse of taking it apart, so I don't really see the reason to show that to you guys. I think I'll put her back together, and then when I get her back together, we'll fire her on the table, and then we'll bring her over there and see how she does tilling, see if I fix her or not. Alright, well, about 2 seconds after I shut you guys off, it decided to start raining. So I'm probably not going to get back to tilling. We'll see how severe it gets, but I got to get this put back together before we get more water in the fuel tank. And I got the wrong screwdriver. Yeah, I didn't realize they were calling for storms and all that stuff today when I thought about my day today this morning. But that's all right. Garden's already better than it was. Oh boy, man, it's starting to sprinkle pretty good. Probably won't show up on the camera that well, but oh yeah, here it comes. I'm gonna get soaked here in a second. Kind of refreshing though, with as hot as it's been. Just hope it doesn't rain for about long enough to wet the ground and then, you know, burn the snot out of me here in the sunlight in a few minutes. One of the things I dislike the most about working outside is the weather on small engines. It just seems like there's very few times when it goes how it should. But it's all right. Not always going to go the way I want it to. I'm accepting of that. It just sometimes it is very inconvenient. Got to get that tab up in there somehow. Yeah, I'm going about this the wrong way, I think. Yeah, I should have had that tank up in there a better way. All right. So am I going to have to drop the carburetor back off? Or no? Or just pull the blower shroud? I guess I'm going to have to pull the blower shroud. Yeah, I didn't want you guys thinking that I lied to you or hid something from you or cheated you. You know, oh well, you never showed us a tilling, so it still broke. Well, weather kind of changes things, you know, sometimes. No point in tilling muddy ground. Which it just kind of stopped. So if it stays stopped, maybe we can still till because it doesn't rain that much. We shall see. Oh, I don't want to bend that. No. It's looking way better already. putting a little 5/16 tank strap bolt. Remember, your carburetor bolt's got that slot in it. Makes it easier to tell them apart. And I'm probably blocking you guys right now. Try to get the other side. Oop, kicking you guys everywhere. Okay. Take your time with the carb bolts. Try not to cross thread them. Well, that's why I don't have the breather pipe in the thing here. There. Now it should go together. Alright, I wondered why the carb bolts were fighting me so much. And they still kind of are. Come on now. Why are you fighting me? I don't understand what's going on here. Okay, there we go. There, we got them started. I just had to hold my tongue right. There we go. Well, I guess that one's not started. The other one, well, it was. What is going on here? Why is this fighting me so much? Shouldn't be. That seems like it started. You'll have that sometimes. Fraggle's over there laughing at me. He's like, I could have had that together with my chicken feet. Yeah. Goes that way sometimes. It's still not started. What is the deal? Oh, you know what? I know what it is. I know what it is. I gotta loosen the bolts back up to the tank, and then it'll go. Forgot about that. They don't like to start if you don't have it loose from the tank. I've been through that before. I just forgot about it. So we'll loosen them up a little bit. Give us a little wiggle room. And then I'll bet you you go right in. And they are. All right. Because the carburetor's got to be tightened first before you tighten the tank bolts. I can't tell you how many of these I've done, and I can't believe I forgot that. But that's the joys of aging. Another thing is you want to try to take them pretty easy, evenly. one over here, you might be able to run it in part of the way with a Phillips head or a flat blade, like that. But the bottom one you're not going to be able to, because the tank's in the way. Here comes some wind and some more rain. Illinois weather, give it 5 minutes and it'll change. Kind of like Texas weather. I felt so bad when I heard about that camp full of kids down in Kerrville, Texas. I've been praying a lot for those people. I was actually born in southeast Texas, and understand a little bit about what they go through down there as far as weather. Very sad. Very sad, all those people and children losing their life like that. I feel really deeply for them. Please keep them in your thoughts and your prayers. Now we can tighten down our fuel tank bolts here, or screws rather. They're just sheet metal screws. Nothing fancy. I tell you what, you ought to try to find one of these tanks in decent shape. I'm sure some of them guys out there that hoard these engine parts probably got a couple, but you go to try to find one on the internet, boy, they want an arm and a leg for one of these old tanks. As they are desirable. And they don't make them no more. Don't forget to hook up your little governor spring, because that's important. Make sure that's going to work. And it is. Alright. Now we can hook that back up. Look on your cables, there's a shiny spot. That'll clip right in where you got to go. If it's old enough, something brand new, it's not going to have that. This one's dirty. So you can pretty much tell where it was at. And tighten it down. Alright. Oh, we got to tighten up that 5/16 bottom on the tank strap. I forgot about that. I'm just forgetting all kinds of stuff today. Might be a little tired. I moved a 1.5 tons full of dirt yesterday with a shovel all around my house, filling in holes the animals made, the chickens, and putting some around the foundation where it's settled over the years. It made for a long, tiring day, but it was nice to get out there and do a bunch of physical labor, fix some things that needed fixing. It's really nice. I enjoyed it immensely. We're getting close to firing her back up. Getting real close. Go. Put our 3 bolts in our shroud. Boy, I tell you, the breeze feels good. It's probably not very good for the audio. But yeah, it was a real quick shower. Alright, so as you can probably hear from the wind, it's raining again. I got to run these bolts down in this blower shroud. Oh, yeah. Blower shroud bolts. Sorry, my neighbor come over and asked to borrow a grease gun. So I lent him that. Try to get these run down and try to get this finished up here real quick before the rest of the weather moves in. I guess it's going to rain the rest of the day, they're saying. Alright. Let me get my air cleaner put back on, throw some fuel in it and crank it over. Hopefully she'll pop off in a pull or two like she did last time and sit there and run nice for us. That's the hope anyway. I ain't gonna put a ton of fuel in it because I'm just gonna have to run it out, put this thing somewhere dry. That ought to be enough, I think. Yeah, that ought to be enough. This thing uses very little fuel. It's very fuel efficient. Okay, throttle's out. Pull out our choke. Kick that off. Doesn't ground out our spark. Here we go. See you back over at the garden spot. Let's try her again. See how far we get this time. that's a blessing in and of itself. I do want to apologize for all the cuts and breaks and interruptions we had. I can't really help that, but I hope you understand. Really appreciate you guys for watching. Just got to thank Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, for blessing the day and blessing the work of my hands and helping me get through these things. Really thanking Him for the challenges that come my way. You know, tomorrow isn't promised. Today is all you got. Dust we are, the dust will return. And I think those are the things that lead us to the realization about things in life that we can take care of, the things we can change, and the things we can't. Just always hope and pray that the Lord will bless you and see us fit to keep us in His way and His will. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me. Have a great day and God bless you.